to be here today, actually. It's a pleasure to be here again. I was here this time last year, but from a different view. I was actually looking up on the stage and enjoying the speakers, and I feel really privileged and I suppose empowered, funny enough, to be actually gracing the same stage as some fantastic and inspirational people. So we've really had a great morning, wouldn't you agree? And I think all I want to try and do today is just, I live my life with love, passion and purpose, and I just want to maybe try and impress upon you some of the things that have helped me over the last 11 years. So we're likely to go on a little bit of a magical mystery tour. If you can keep up with me, that's great, because I very rarely do. I tend to get lost on my own little tangents. So we'll see where it goes. But actually, it's really great to be here. And I think a lot of thanks really to Caroline and Joseph, because without them, creating none of us would be here today. And you're all here for different reasons. Maybe you were empowered and excited from the quality of speakers last year. Maybe you was aware of some of these awesome people that have, again, graced the stage today. You're here maybe to learn more, I'd imagine, to become more. Why are you here today? Just out of curiosity. Anybody, not just today, but this weekend. What intrigued you? What inspired you to put your hand in your pocket and invest your own hard-earned money into giving up your valuable time to be here this weekend? Anybody want to share why? Inspiring speakers. Felt a bit stuck. Any others? Wonderful. I love that, being with people on the same journey, and that's one of the things I really like and love about the industry I've got involved in. It's a people business, and I think the quality of our life is within the quality of our relationships, and to be with kind of, I suppose, kindred souls, where we are really, aren't we? We're here for a reason, and I think we're kindred through that desire to become more and learn more, and it's good to know that you're not alone. So what I really want to do is just share some of my experiences, as I said, a little bit about my journey, and hope that I can give some value to you today. That's really why I'm here, and we'll see if that works. First thing I really want to talk about, does anybody remember this movie? Oh, yeah. Pretty Woman. I was talking to a real good friend of mine, and I've been trying to get him to watch this movie for 3 years. Because every time I talk about it, you can see his reaction. I'm like, watch it, and his words to me, it's a chick flick. So I'm like, yeah, Netflix are cool. I remember going to see Notting Hill with my friend, and I think we probably looked like a gay couple at the time, because there seems to be loads of romance going on in the cinema, and there was me and my friend. But you remember this movie? This, from an early age, I'm not sure when it was released actually, I think early 90s, does that ring a bell? I believe I was still at school. I'm 34 years old now, no I don't think so. But I remember watching this movie, and it left an impression on me. Not just the fact that I thought Julia Roberts was hot, and I wanted to drive a Lamborghini properly without crunching the gears, but it was actually at the end of the movie that really, really empowered me, and maybe just planted one of them seeds along our journey in life. And it was at the end, he rescued, if you remember, he's waving his umbrella, hanging out the sunroof of a limousine, rescuing his princess from the tower. And at the end of the movie, there was a homeless guy on the side, I don't know if you really remember, and he was saying, everyone's got a dream in Hollywood. What's your dream? Now, I was young, impressionable, but that really, really made an impact on me at such a young age. So I want to ask you, what's your dream? I'm going to share some of mine with you today, and maybe they may empower you. Maybe they may just lead you to empower yourself. But I think everything starts with a dream. Even Ozzy Osbourne, he may have been stoned at the time, but in his wisdom he said, don't let go of your dreams, man. It's your dreams that make it happen. How so very, very true. And I want to touch upon this today while I'm chatting away and waffling a little bit. My dreams when I was younger. I'm a typical boy that mentioned today, cars. From the age of 8 years old, I've always wanted to own, drive and enjoy a black Porsche 911. Now, I'm confident from an early age, you all have some kind of dream too. One of my other dreams was I wanted to be an IVF pilot. Did anybody remember watching Top Gun? I wanted to be Maverick, but a taller Maverick. Okay? And these were a couple of dreams I had at an early age. I'm confident that you've had dreams as children. You know, I'm a big fan of music. I was talking to Ian earlier about how empowering music is. I'm a big fan of the Beatles. I grew up with the Beatles. I learned to love a lot of indie bands and, you know, commercialised stuff, but I loved it. And in a song by Oasis, you may have heard of them, whether you like them or not, one of their songs says, "Dreams we have as children fade away." That's very true. How concerning as well, that we're empowered to dream when we're so young, but over a period of time, then dreams fade away. I actually, through school, I believed in dreams, actually. I'm going to talk a bit about my work experience, don't worry about it too much at the moment, but through school, I believed in dreams, and then I went to college, I went into further education because I discovered that to become an RAF pilot and be like, you know, Tom Cruise in Top Gun and fly the fighter jets, I need A-levels. What I didn't realise, when I got to college and I had that freedom, I was quite a young 16, 17-year-old. I looked young and I also had a young mindset. I wasn't responsible to employ myself to study, if that makes sense. Okay? Some people are great with that. If I'm honest, I was a nightmare. I used to party, I'd gamble, I'd play pool, I did everything apart from going to college. You could say I was influenced by the environment that I was in. How important is that? We talked about it momentarily ago, about being hindered souls in an empowering environment on the same journey. Well, I'm in maybe a non-empowering environment. I was making choices and decisions that were taking me further away from the dreams. I never realised. I never realised because of what I've grown to learn is social conditioning. Okay? I then left college. I went back the following year. I left college and I went to work. Okay. Now I've been brought up really well. Mummy was in the audience. She actually dragged me up. She got scout. I'm joking. But I was brought up very well with a great attitude. And the attitude I was brought up with, you might want to write this on some pads, and I'm a believer of it today. Be the best you can be at being you. Be the very best you can be at being you. You know, they're being touched on again today. I left college and I went to work, and then I realised I didn't like working either at that age, so I went back to college, okay? And very quickly, I again stopped enjoying that. It was a short-term thing. I think I grew up, I never really stuck to anything, if I'm honest, at an early age. I mean, you can ask my mum, I think I went from sport to sport to sport, because it wasn't compelling me or keeping me focused, because that makes sense. It wasn't pulling on something internal. I did taekwondo for a couple of months, got bored of it. Does that make sense? So I needed something that grabbed me, and nothing really did. Then I left college again, and actually, at the age of 17, I had 3 jobs. I tried telesales, selling fact paper, which I didn't really enjoy. I did that from 9 till 5:30, and then used to walk half an hour up the road. My friend would then give me a lift to a potato farm, where I could pick potatoes from 6:30 to 10:30, and then on a Saturday and a Sunday, I worked as a pot wash in a kitchen. Okay, I was 17 years old. I blame my mum for ingraining a work ethic upon me. Okay, but actually, it was an experience. I've just listed here some of my roles. You know, from pot wash to telesales, factory work, but never really found anything that I wanted to do. I was just drifting, and I think often people drift in life, you know, rather than drive. And these are just some of my experiences. I ended up cleaning buses. That wasn't the most enjoyable job. I was paid something like £120 a week to lie underneath buses and steam clean them or clean them. So I didn't pride myself in being great at that. But I probably did a better job than everyone else, I'm not sure. Who knows? And then I fell into advertising. I actually responded to an ad, and the lady gave me a job because of my cheek. You know, it was talked about, I think Andrew said earlier about a cockiness. I wasn't necessarily cocky, but I was cheeky enough to ask for the job in front of her. And she said the only reason she gave me the job is because I was the only one that had asked for it. Well, isn't that common? As I've learned now, that philosophy of asking you shall receive. But so few people actually get in the habit of asking for things, whatever that may be. Okay? So, what was crazy, and I'm just showing a bit of my background, I was earning £14,000 per annum. What became apparent was the dream of driving a Porsche 911. I started to shrink my dreams to match my income. I think that makes sense. And my dream car became a Golf GTI. Now, there's nothing wrong with Golf GTIs, but it's a difference, isn't it? From a £90,000 car down to a £4,000 car. Okay. Sorry?
Still black.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. That's a very good point. And actually, I think I have a black Golf GTI, funny enough. Well, I remember the number plate from that, G428 View. Must have liked it. Okay. I started to, as I said, shrink my dreams to match my income. And I never really realised that that dream of owning a Porsche had disappeared. That I had and was so passionate about at an early age. My sister is actually responsible for that. She brought me a poster to be in the page boy at her wedding, which I wasn't impressed about because she made me wear top hat and tails and walk behind a horse and carriage. Can you imagine at a young age doing that? But she made up for it. She brought me this big poster. I've still got that poster today on my office wall. I've had from such a young age. Okay. But that poster actually fell into a frame. It was in my bedroom, but I stopped paying attention to it consciously. Maybe I was unconsciously, I'm not sure. But my dreams drifted. But there was one person that never let go of them dreams, and that was my mum. So I've got a lot to thank her for. Because she used to talk and try to empower me to believe in my goals. You know, I don't think that's common in this day and age today, so I was very lucky to have such fabulous parents. Aside from Dad, he used to take me to strip clubs and all sorts of last things. No, I'm joking. My mum used to ask me, you know, what's your dream car? And I used to say, it's a Golf GTI. And she used to argue with me. Not argue, but she used to try to impress me, actually, where do you dream of the Porsche? Now, who listens to their parents? Okay. So I wasn't really, you know, inspired to listen to my mum. My dream car, through that social conditioning, through the power of association, became a Golf GTI. You know, and I did still pride myself at being the very best I could be. You know, I still live by that philosophy of being the best you can be as being you. Okay? It all changed in April 2001. I got involved in a direct selling business, and my imagination was fed by a different association, by the association of successful people that were achieving some of the things that I wanted to achieve at an early age. Okay, I don't want to be an airline pilot anymore, or an RAF pilot. I think I've passed A levels. I don't think they're 34. I don't actually think they'd let me up in a plane. I'd like to go up, actually up, but not fly. I'd like somebody to know what they're doing to control it. Okay, mind you, I'll probably get seasick or airsick or whatever you call it being a passenger. But it did change in April 2001, and my dreams were rekindled, reignited through a positive environment, through the association with people that were living the dream. And literally, I just got involved in this fabulous business. I'm still involved with it today. I love it with a passion. It's changed my life dramatically. You know, from literally getting started, learning something new, never having an involvement in anything like this before. You saw my track record. I've never really worked with people. You know, maybe picking spuds and talking to somebody who was picking spuds as well. Or cleaning buses, that was quite lonely. Apart from the wildlife and stuff. It changed my life. And my business now, it's booming. In the last 10 years, it's turned over in excess of £15 million. I've got no rents, rates or overheads. It provides me with a very nice, very sexy, you could say, residual income. So I get paid upon the work that I've done in the past, not necessarily what I'm doing today. And it's a people business. Now, when I joined it, I'll be very honest with you, I was motivated by greed. I'll be dead honest, I was motivated by pound signs because I believed that money was second to oxygen. And I still do to a certain extent. I think, you know, life's not all about money, but it is about maybe what money can allow us to do. And I love life. I love people. You know, my business was all about me in the beginning. It was about creating some wealth, so I could chase some of my dreams, so I could drive and buy that Porsche. But it's actually developed now where I've had the fun of working with hundreds and thousands of people that I've managed to be able to positively influence their life and be rewarded for doing so. In fact, over the last 11 years in April, obviously, I've coached and supported thousands of people to achieve different things. Some people I've helped them just earn an extra income to keep a roof over their family's heads, okay, which is actually very rewarding. The reward I get financially for that isn't as rewarding as knowing you've made a difference in somebody's life. Does that make sense? Okay? And to people that have really changed their life and as well starting to realise some of their dreams. Coincidentally, I do have my Porsche now. I've had it for 6 years. And again, I'm not saying it's to impress you, maybe to impress upon you, regardless of your background or your experience. I think when you find something that sits with you, find something that you can get passionate about and that you enjoy doing, you'll never work another day in your life and you will be rewarded accordingly. Does that make sense? Is everybody happy?
Yes!
Because if I get less smiles, I'm going to get us all, it's a bit fitness, so I thought we could all do some sit-ups or something, you know, some stomach crunches. But it's changed my life. It has gone from that material matter of what inspired me in the beginning to actually the philosophy of just loving and working with people. I couldn't do anything more that I love. And I've been lucky enough to speak across the industry, be recognised as one of the best, well actually the best this year in the direct selling industry in the UK, which is really great to be recognised as that. But actually, I'm a firm believer that it takes all of us to make any one of us successful. And I've got a refined appreciation for the all of us, if that makes sense. And I love the people I work with and enjoy working with them. And as I've already said, the quality of our life, I believe, is the quality of our relationships. But I've got passionate about what I do. And here's something, you might already be a philosophy of yours, but I'm a firm believer, when you find something true to you, you're empowered to work, although it doesn't feel like work, you're empowered to do the things you need to do to take you towards what you want to achieve. Now, when you're doing that, and I'll talk about it a little bit more in a moment, and hopefully help you discover a few things, maybe, hopefully. But when you're doing that, I think that's what living's all about. When you're in line with what's true to you, and you're doing things on a daily basis which you know in your heart of hearts is taking you towards what it is you really want, that's what living is. Because you have a feeling of excitement, a buzz, a spring in your step every day because you're doing what's true to you. Polly talked about it today, didn't she? About being true to yourself. And I think that's really, really important. And now one of my goals is to really continue to hopefully share the thoughts and philosophies and the things that I've learned in the last 11 years and the things I continue to learn. Because we're always learning, do you agree? Okay, we learn from each other. And I would like to, as often as I can, just share with them to impress upon people that they can have, be, become, see, feel and achieve anything they want in life, whatever that may be. Okay. And one of my philosophies, here's a really positive philosophy. And actually, David, our speaker, after myself on his warm-up act, he mentioned something last year about how being nice is good for your health. I'm not going to go into the scientific side of it, David might mention that later, hopefully. But actually, here's a little philosophy that I've always lived by for many years. Make a positive difference in one person's life every day, and your life will change for the better forever. Just make a positive difference in one person's life every day. It could be as simple as holding the door open. Does that make sense? Just making a difference to somebody, a smile. It just makes such a big, big difference. Okay, what's next? Yeah, you'll find this about me. I've got no idea what's coming up next, so in case you're just going to bear with me, you'll see it when I say it, actually. Learn, act, and succeed. There's so much information out there, and I think we're in a position where we can very much choose to what we consume and how we consume so much of our own information. You know, there's some fabulous authors, but unless we act upon what we learn, we never really learn it. Have you ever heard the philosophy of do the thing and have the power? Does that make sense? Do the thing and have the power. So this was just something that I believe in. It's set deep inside me. If I learn something, I try to implement it straight away. We all take notes at these kind of events, don't we? I actually think they're probably one of the most powerful books. It's a notebook that you could ever read, because it's how you perceive it. It's how you read what a speaker says, necessarily. And we all have different personalities, so it's more personal to you. So I find actually all the books and CDs and audio programs that I've consumed and continue to consume are extremely powerful. And listening to speakers that, are sharing their words of wisdom, but sometimes what you write in your book from what you've learned or listened to is probably more empowering because it's personal to you. And I believe that really makes a difference. Everybody happy? Mm-hmm. Anyone bored yet? Because you've got another hour. Already mentioned it. When you love what you do, you'll succeed your whole life through, whatever that may be. Now, some of you are here because you're looking to make a difference in 2012. Guys, this is an Olympic year. Is it going to be an Olympic year for you? I have a load of philosophies, and again, I think I learned that nothing worth having is easy to get. Nothing worth having is easy to get. There's no shortcut to success in life. We need to do the things that maybe other people aren't willing to do, so we can have the things that other people will not have. Okay? Simple philosophies, I'm sure. So to me, there's nothing new. If someone said to you, I've got some brand new fundamentals I want to share with you, you need to leg the other way, because they're talking out their backside. Excuse my terminology, ladies. Okay? But there isn't a new fundamental, would you agree? It's just a different perspective and the way we perceive things. You know, what we perceive, we project. Okay. I've got a purpose in life, and I want to share it with you. Again, if you remember, I said my purpose was, quite simply, it was, in the beginning, it was about creating wealth. And I'm not going to lie, I still want it. Who doesn't want to be wealthy? Okay? Okay? I think everybody wants an element of wealth, because it allows you maybe that time for freedom. Now, I've got two little girls, one's 4 on Tuesday. She's a proper little princess. She's got her daddy wrapped around her finger. I love it. I've got another little girl, Alana. She's 5.5 months. My purpose now is it's still to create the wealth, because I want to leave a legacy for them. But actually, the wealth gives me time, choice, time, freedom to see everything. Now, I'm in a very strong position. I'll never miss a school day. I'll never miss an athletics day. Does that make sense? That's what matters deep to me. My family, my friends, and making a difference, not only in other people's lives, but being able to enjoy having a family. I mean, who wants to have a family to go to work and never see them? That to me is not living. That's not life. If you can find something you can do that's true to you, that you love doing, that you can create wealth, so you've got the time, freedom to do the things you really want to do. Who knows what they really want to do in life? This is something you've really got to discover, and I'm going to touch on it in a moment, but this is my purpose. I read this every morning and every night, but for some reason, when I'm on a stage, I can't remember it. I don't know if maybe it's just because I'm on a stage. So, I don't know if you can read that, but my purpose is quite simple. It's to feel and have fulfillment in life. And I believe living with fulfillment is really important. The feeling of fulfillment will come through me being at my best, being at the top of my game, and enjoying in all I do. If you're not having fun with something, is it worth doing? No. You've got to have fun, you've got to have that love. Do you know what? I do live my purpose today. I love what I do with a passion. Absolutely love it. Being on here, just sharing some thoughts and philosophies with you, I'm loving it. Okay? My mission is to continue to create an empowering environment to share the tools, philosophies, the things I've learned with other people, the things I continue to learn, to empower others to really make a difference in their life. Leaving a legacy and positively influencing the world. I feel I can do that. Whether it's a small scale or a large scale, I'm thinking big. Napoleon Hill wrote that great book, didn't he? Think big and grow rich. Okay? It's not necessarily rich financially, it's rich from within in every aspect of life. The key for me is to create fun and rewarding relationships with the people I love, with family and friends. And you're making new friends all the time. To me, life is about people. But so few people really open themselves up to really cherishing and being respectful of others. You know, people skills has become a really focus of mine over the years. And I think good people skills actually come from the fundamental of actually caring about other people and being respectful to their feelings, albeit they might have different beliefs to you. We've heard a little bit about beliefs today. I'm probably going to mention that at some point. I usually do. But if you've got a feeling of caring about other people and being respectful to their beliefs, even if they're different to yours, that to me is where the basis of good people skills starts. Would you agree? Okay. Question for you. What single one thing do we have in common? What single one thing do we crave? Other than sex and love. Other than sex and love. Have you ever heard that philosophy of why women want love and men want sex? Very bizarre, isn't it? I don't know the reason behind it. I've not read the book, but I've seen it. What one thing do we crave? Acceptance. Sorry? Connection. Growth. Freedom. Understanding. All of them. The one word that I think you can marry to almost any aspect of life is success. Success in freedom, success in being understood, success in your growth. Everybody craves success. It's a fact. Okay? Everyone craves success. It's actually what that means to you. Success to you and me and the person to your left or to your right is more than likely completely different. 9 times out of 10 it is. So what is success to you? What does it mean to you? This is what you need to discover. It's that philosophy. If you don't know where you're going, you're never going to get there. Can you imagine going down to King's Cross? So you need to get a train to King's Cross, getting on the train and having no idea where you're going. Does that make sense? You never go anywhere without having a destination in mind. In fact, I've got a really firm belief. Every action we ever take, we take with a goal in mind. Every action. And every single action in life is taken with a goal in mind. Some form of destination, some form of achievement or objection. We all crave success. I stumbled across this a few years ago and I found it quite funny. So I just want to share it with you. And this is success through the ages, what it means to different people. So, at age 4, success is not peeing your pants. Okay? I'm not sure if I was still wet in the bed at age 4, I hope not. At age 10, success is having friends. At age 17, success is having a driving licence. At age 20, success is having sex. At age 35, success is having money. At age 50, success is still having money. At age 60, success is having sex. Obviously, there's drugs now that can really influence that, but I'm not a firm believer in taking drugs. I think, probably more about the power of the mind later. Age 70, success is still having a driving licence. And at age 75, success is still having friends. It's amazing how life does go around full circle. And I'm pretty confident at some point in your life, you've experienced how your life has gone full circle in some way, manner or form. Yeah? Okay? But success is different to everybody. But to me, success, again, I'm a man, so apologies, it's very much like sex. If you don't get excited, it's never going to happen. Okay? You need to get excited and passionate about the things you want in life. I believe if you do so, you become attractive. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit more. I believe being attractive is far more than skin deep. I believe that we can become attractive by having certain attitudes and methods, and it really does then, implement maybe that law of attraction a little bit more, where we've been off that positive vibe, which again is what we talked about over this weekend. That should say 80, obviously, and you don't have to be clever. At age 80, success is not peeing your pants. Okay? This is just something I want to talk about, arming yourself. And I think if you can understand this simple philosophy, I'm going to talk about it in a little bit more depth in a moment, but it's really about the actions create results, and results we get motivated. Yeah? I've already mentioned it. Every action in life is taken with a goal in mind. We need to be motivated to act, to take certain actions. But really, this is like a cycle of, to my philosophy, of becoming a little bit more successful, not successful, attractive. Just stick with me for this one for a minute. If you go out there and do the things you know you really should be doing, there's many entrepreneurs in here, many people run their own business. Yeah? Many people want to run their own business. Okay? Anybody go out doing anything to do it badly? No? Good. So we go out to do things at our best of our ability, okay? So we take certain actions. Now, to be successful in what our quest may be for that day, we know what we really should be doing, okay? That's what we need to focus on. And the great thing is, it's about just the fundamental basic things. It's not... Alexandra mentioned baby steps earlier. It's like that philosophy of how do we eat an elephant? One bite at a time. It's just step by step, little by little, over time, it creates massive results. It's that philosophy of the penny doubled, etc., which I might mention later. Anybody understand what I'm talking about when I say the penny doubled? Okay, right. So, you take action, you get results. When you get results, what does it do to you? It motivates you, it excites you. It motivates and excites you to do what? More action. Again, something I've lived by, and again, you can take this fundamental into any aspect of life. When things are going great, do more. When things aren't going so great, do less. I think, to achieve anything, you've got to take action. Being stood up here on stage, it really confirms to me probably something where I all a little bit have kindred souls, and I have a real firm set belief that's internalised that what we give focus to and what we believe and what we think about comes about. I'm a firm believer of that aspect of the law of attraction. But if you write attraction down, the biggest proportion of that is action. The biggest proportion of that is action. I'm a firm believer in the law of attraction and how, on an unconscious level, it compels us to take certain actions in line with what's true to us. That's what I believe it is, okay? To take further and appropriate actions. But this, I believe you become attractive. You're taking actions, okay, in the beginning, it might be under a little bit of blind faith, under a little bit of maybe that motivation, that reason why. And maybe I'll tell you a little story if I can remember it in a moment. But over a period of time, doing the arming yourself, taking action, getting results, motivation, more results, more motivation, I believe you become more attractive because you have your chest out, a spring in your step, a sparkle in your eye. When you meet someone and you talk to them, do you ever notice a sparkle in your eye? You find it quite warming. You maybe want to talk to that person a little bit more. They're open, they're approachable. Does that make sense? This is what I believe makes us attractive. But first we've got to be motivated to take the actions in order to grow that attraction to maybe the wider field. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. This is probably stuff that you're already doing. That you're already aware of. As I said, there's nothing new. And it's just maybe my concept's a little the way I ramble on about it. So it's important that you're motivated. This is the philosophy. Anyone watch Star Wars? I think Peter that's doing the light therapy and the photos out there, I think really somebody mentioned it. Where's the lady? She mentioned about how it's just being like a grown-up Luke Skywalker with a watch on it. What's it called? A lightsaber. Okay. But Yoda said it best. There is no try. You do or you do not. You can't try to do anything. Do me a favour. Try to stand up. Try to stand up. Okay, do me another favour, please, everybody. Please stand up. It's a big difference there. Okay. Turn around and shake the person's hand behind you, say hello, introduce yourself to somebody new. In fact, very quickly, just go and say hi to somebody new. Somebody You know what I'd love seeing today? This young lady here in front, I'm not sure how old she is, but I think it's awesome. And this young lady at the back here. It is a delight, because you know what? I think our social environment is not empowering kids at an early age. I think our educational system is fantastic, okay? But it's not necessarily influencing them with the right attitudes to have a positive life. And I think the more we can influence children, the better for our future. And I'm a firm believer in that. My daughters are going to have everything they ever want, but they have gratitude and they have a great attitude. Does that make sense? It's just, I think we can bring, through personal development, it affects how we bring our children up. And I think it's just great to see a young lady, and that unconscious level, how it can influence them over a period of time. Okay, Watford, it's great to connect and just meet new people. Do you feel good about that? Yeah, just meeting somebody and saying hi, shaking someone's hand, looking somebody in the eye, and just meeting somebody new and just having that experience of connecting with somebody different. So, what is success to you? Talked about how fundamentally it's what we will crave. What is success to you? What does it mean? Sorry? Yeah, no, I am. Achieving your goals. Fantastic, mate. Brilliant. Anybody else? Anybody want to share a dream that they had since they were a child? child that maybe's faded away that they want to rekindle and have in the future?
Ride an elephant.
Ride an elephant, beautiful.
That'd be bigger than me.
I've been massaged by an elephant. It's one of the most empowering but scariest things you can do. Imagine laying down and an elephant standing on you. Right? And it's well trained. Like these elephants, it's in Thailand, and these elephants, they from an early age, they were Burmese elephants, and they grew up with these young Burmese children, and they grew up together. So the handler and the elephant just created a relationship and a love for each other and a trust. Okay. And I remember being massaged by this elephant on my back and then turning over and it was standing on my belly. And going through your mind, you're kind of thinking, I know it's probably done this loads of times, but what happens if somebody makes a noise and he just like squishes it? So, but I highly recommend it. You know. There's photos and I think a video of me, like you can see that I've got fear in my eyes. So what's your dream? Chris, you put your hand up.
Dodge Viper.
Dodge Viper. Okay, interesting. Any other dreams you've maybe had as a child that have faded away through social conditioning? You know what I mean, don't you? Yes, mate.
Yeah, I had, when I was younger, I used to draw film posters all the time.
Okay.
I didn't know what it meant, but now I wrote films.
Beautiful.
But it went away and it came back.
That's good to hear. So you're living with what's true to you. What you obviously enjoy doing that.
I'm not successful yet.
Yet. Well, hopefully I can maybe give you some ways to do so, because I want to really share with you how I feel you can create your greatest ever year this year, making your year Olympic.
But you are successful that you're doing it.
Yeah.
That is a success, because as you said, it had gone away and now it's come back. That's worth recognising, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Loving what you do. Okay. Valentine's Day is coming soon. I will be leaving my email and my address at the back. Jokes aside, anyone watch the movie Forrest Gump?
Yeah.
Anyone remember Forrest? Sat on the bench speaking to the old lady and talking about his friend Jenny. Anyone remember?
Yeah.
The famous quote, "Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get." How bizarre. How random a thought and how random a saying. Every box of chocolates I've ever seen, I've ever read, I've ever picked up, has had a little menu card in there telling you exactly what each chocolate is. Am I making sense? Mm-hmm. See, I don't agree with that. I believe life is a box of chocolates. You always know what you're going to ask for and therefore what you're going to get. You see, when I get a box of chocolates, not that anyone's brought me a box of chocolates.
Oh.
Valentine's Day soon. Sherry?
Here. Craig.
For what? Oh, awesome. Everybody's got their favourite, haven't they? Everyone's got their favourite. What's the first thing you do when you open a box of chocolates? Look for your favourite. Yeah? Agreed?
Yeah.
And you find that by looking at the menu card.
No, you don't.
You know. Okay, sorry ladies, you obviously know more about chocolate than I do. Wasn't that chocolate lovely today that Polly made? Absolutely awesome. The chocolate last year that the other young lady made, it wasn't that. But this one today, I thought Polly was excellent. Anyway, for me, I can always refer to the card, but it just makes a point to me. You know, you get to choose in life the things you want. I really, really believe that. I really believe it. Believe it. To me, success in life is about the choices we make and the actions we take. Write that down. Your success in life is about the choices you make and the actions you take. After all, we're right here, right where we are today in life because of the choices and decisions and actions we've made in the past. Now, does that affect your future? No.
It is your future, the choices you make.
Yeah, from today onwards, but not from the past. You know, I saw a great guy speak once, Chris Akabusi, and he said something really powerful. The past is for reference, not residence. Where we are today is the platform we've created to go forward and create a better, greater future. What one thing do we have in common at the end of every year?
Breath.
A hope to have a better year next year than the year we've just had. But wouldn't it be crazy to think if we do the same things we did last year, we'll get the same rewards this year? It's a sign of madness, surely. So for things to change, we must change. Through personal development, maybe, I think the biggest thing is through discovering what really matters to us. What really matters. And it's not always the things that are common. I think sometimes we can be influenced by other people's goals through association. I think you can adapt through spending time with everybody, other people. You can adapt, well, we do, don't we? We adapt tonality, we adapt terminology. What's that philosophy of the people you spend most of your time with? Your bank balance is a sum of the 5 people, along with your attitudes, your beliefs and your philosophies. A lot of my family are from the Wirral. And in Liverpool, it's where my mum's from originally. When I used to speak to my family at a younger age, I used to find myself talking to them in a Scouse accent. I've never bloody lived in Liverpool. If I spent time with David for a long period of time, I'd end up with a little twang, I'm sure of it. Because of the power of association. You've all experienced that.
It's true, yeah.
You've all experienced it. So life is like a box of chocolates. I believe you can always decide what you want to ask for and therefore choose in life. And you can make the changes today to catapult you forward in 2012. Something I want to just do with you for a moment, so I'm going to need your participation. I'm not a hypnotherapist, it's not what I'm trying to do, so please relax and don't be worried. You're worried now, aren't you? Mm-hmm. That's why I said that. No, I'm joking. I've done this quite a few times in events within my organisation. I run training events around the country for the people I work with, and I've done this quite a lot, and it's very empowering to me, actually, as well as the people that we're collectively doing it. So what I want to do is just go through a simple process, and it might work with you, but it may not work today, but it's the philosophy behind it that I want you to understand. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Yeah? And I was empowered. In fact, I'll tell you in a moment. What I'm going to need you to do is put your pads down, relax, put your pads down on your table, with your pen on top of your pads. Everybody happy to do this? Because anyone that doesn't participate, I'm throwing stuff. And I will. I really, really will. Okay? What I'd like you to do is, we're just going to look at creating your own destiny, or maybe discovering something that I believe is inside you. You know, Alexandra talked about we all have a power within. I think everybody in the world has something special inside them to give, but they've never found the opportunity, or somebody's never helped them unleash what's true to them. Okay, and often this is what these events are for, or the power of association, or just finding this new business you mentioned earlier that you're obviously more passionate about than your job. Okay. Anyway, waffling. Don't know how much time I've got, but hey, what I'd like you to do is just close your eyes. And I'd like you to breathe in deeply. Now, many of you should know, so I want you to breathe through your stomach and feel the breath rise up through your chest so the oxygen is getting to your brain. And I want you to take maybe 4 or 5 deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. Nice and relaxed. Feeling the energy enter your soul, your body, your mind. As you're feeling that oxygen, maybe you're feeling the endorphins, the little happy people tingling at the tip of your toes and your fingers, because you're breathing deeply and relaxed. Oxygen is getting to every part of your body. What I'd like you to do is, while you're relaxed and while you're taking these deep breaths, is just to, for a moment, consider what success means to you. What is it you want to achieve in life? Where would you like to go? Who would you like to become? What would you like to have, feel, achieve, be? Just for a moment, think what really matters to you. If you could, in your mind's eye, be the creator of your own destiny. If in years to come, you saw your lights up in a shining light of the movie of your life, and you looked back on what was great and what you had achieved, what is it in your life that you would have loved to achieve? Could be many things. Could be like a dream car. Could be writing a book. Could just be that feeling of being a great mum, or a great father, or a grandparent. What is it? Just think about it for a moment. Put yourself in the picture. Keep breathing deeply. And just visualise what really matters to you. Your dream home. Could be a yacht. Could be something materialistic. Could be a feeling. Could be the recognition, for being successful. You may have had a movie that you've written and it's been a blockbuster movie. You may be in a band and you've made a difference and created an empowering environment for other people to enjoy what you have to offer. What I'd like you to do is just really think about that for a moment. Feel it, see it, believe it. Then when you're ready, open your eyes, pick up your pen, and just spend a moment writing exactly what just went and flashed across your mind's eye. Write exactly what you've just seen on your pads. I'm not sure what it was. You may have seen loads of things. You may have just had something that was clear, crystal, certain. Just write on your pads, just for a moment. Okay. Some of you really did see some good stuff. When you finish writing, I'd like you just to maybe put your pads down. Maybe just run your eyes over what you've just written. And I'm going to ask you to close your eyes again and actually re-visualise everything you've just written. So what I want you to do is, if you're all ready, just bear with me for this one, just a couple more minutes. Just close your eyes. Breathe again and start to visualise exactly what you've just seen flash across your mind's eye, exactly what you've just written for me. So just think about that. Again, put yourself in the picture. Imagine sharing the success of what you're seeing with the people you love. Imagine them enjoying your success, seeing it for themselves, being a part of the recognition because you've achieved what really matters to you. Imagine sharing that with your loved ones, the people that matter the most to you, the people that you care about. So you feel the hairs on your arms standing up, your endorphins bouncing around, the little happy people dancing away. What I want you to do is maybe open your eyes now and understand something. If that is a true passion to you, you know, I just haven't done that, but I get excited. The hairs on my arms are standing up on every aspect, part of almost every part of my body. Sorry, Mum. What I'm getting at is, if your endorphins didn't charge around your body just then, when you put yourself in the picture, sharing that success, visualising it, if the hairs on your arms didn't stand up and didn't create a level of excitement, that is not your passion to succeed. However, if you felt them endorphins, if you felt the enjoyment, you could really feel it, you could see it, you had the hair on your arms standing up, the energy through your body, then you may have discovered one of, if not the, true passion for you to succeed. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Because without a big enough reason why, not all the how-to in the world, not all the knowledge is relevant. Because you have to be motivated to act. Make sense? Okay, I read a story in the book Chicken Soup for the Mother's Soul. I'm not sure why I read Chicken Soup for the Mother's Soul. Maybe I wanted to be more of a nurturer than a hunter-gatherer. But there's a great story in there called Moving Mountains. And it talks about, has anyone read that book out of curiosity? Wonderful. There's a story in there, if I can get it right, it talks about moving mountains. And it's about two warring tribes. One's the lowlanders, they live in the lowlands. And one's the highlanders, they live up in the mountains. And the highlanders came down the mountain and attacked the lowlanders one day, caused havoc. And they left after defeating the lowlanders, because they were surprised, with a young baby. And they left and disappeared up into the mountains. Obviously the family were distraught, and so was the village. A, they'd been attacked, but B, they'd left with one of their own and a young child. So they sent out their strongest, most able fighting men to find this baby and bring it home. Now the problem was these guys didn't know the mountain paths. They didn't know how to climb the mountains because they had only ever lived in the lowlands. They spent days trying to find a way to find the highlanders. After 7 days they gave up. And they were just packing their things to go, packing up their tents, etc., etc. And one of these strong, athletic, fighting men from the tribe noticed the mother walking towards them. Then they noticed that the mother had the baby strapped to her chest. And they were shocked. So when she come up to them and she was walking past, one of the guys said to her, "How have you achieved this when us, the most able, strongest men of the lowlander tribe, we couldn't even climb the mountain?" And she stopped, shrugged her shoulders and said, "It wasn't your child." You see, when the why, the reason why is big enough, you will be motivated to achieve anything in life. You know, I would do anything for my family, friends and loved ones. Does that make sense? If the reason why is compelling enough, you will find a way. And that's just an example. So you need to know what your reason why is, because all the how-to in the world is irrelevant. And this is what you need to maybe discover on the back of this weekend. You've had some empowering information, but it's really about finding what it is you really want in life. On the back of last Empowerment Live, and really sitting where you're sitting and enjoying the speakers, I attracted being up here, I wanted to, okay? But one of the things I went away and did is I wanted to reconnect with my spiritual self. And I literally, I've probably been on the edge of spirituality. Does that make sense? I've probably been just on the edge, maybe not really delved much into it, had a very small knowledge, still do, I think, to the wider and the bigger picture. But on the back of here, I decided to spend more time on myself. And this is what I believe the public don't spend time on themselves. Now, I was a little bit extreme. I have no boss, so I booked a flight to Thailand, and I went to this little island called Koh Chang. I met this fabulous lady, a French lady. She's lived all around the world, and for 7 or 8 days I had yoga and meditation with her every morning and every evening, and I practiced Reiki for three or 4 days. And you know what? It was one of the most empowering times in my life, and there's 2 reasons for that. One, I spent time on myself. I reconnected with what was true to me. I spent time on what was important to me in the future, but also I didn't have to care about anybody else. Let me explain what I mean. We all love going on holiday, agreed? When you go on holiday, you never truly relax. And there's a reason for that, because we normally go on holiday with somebody else. When you go on holiday with somebody else, I believe that you spend a lot of time making sure that they're happy, being concerned if they're enjoying their day too, rather than just completely relaxing. I have never felt so relaxed in my life than when I went on that trip. Honestly, it was amazing. And I put it down to the fact that I only had to give a damn about me. I only had to worry about me from day to day. And I learned so much. I read a book, The Biology of Belief. Anybody read that book? Oh, phenomenal. Do you know what? I picked that book up because it had the word belief in it. I remember starting reading it and I was like, whoa. This was a very, intricately detailed scientific book for me to comprehend when, prior to, 2001, I hadn't read a book since I left school. So I've, read much now, or many books now. But what I found was, I was in the spiritual zone out in Thailand, on this really, if you've never been to Koh Chang, get it on your goal list. 85% of it's a national park. It will never be built up with the commercialised side that, Thailand has. It was just proper Thailand. It was beautiful. But I was reconnecting with my spiritual self, and then I was reading a book on the beach that was given the scientific reasoning for the spiritual side. So I was, does that make sense? Mm. For those who've read the book, you know what I mean. What an empowering 8 days. So what I want to challenge you to do is not all fly off to Thailand. Not that would be a bad idea. But I want to challenge you to spend time connecting with yourself. Give time to yourself every week. Even if it's only a couple of hours where you just sit and chill. Some of you are probably doing this. Some of you are probably into meditation, much more than I am. Okay, I'm a beginner. Okay, but spend time on yourself. Spend time on connecting with what's true to you. Because that's the biggest thing in life. Because when you know what's true, the actions that you take daily, that's living, because you're living your life in what matters to you. Does that make sense? I've not worked for 11 years. Because I love doing what I do. Because it's in line with what counts for me, what matters for me, and you've seen my purpose. And I think our purpose evolves, just like we do. Okay, we evolve. So you need that passion to succeed. Right, arm yourself. I love this. Right, how long have I got? Cool, no one's told me to get off yet. I want to talk to you about designing your greatest year. We're going to talk about arming yourself, activity, results, motivation. I might have to speed up because I don't really want to talk too long because David's coming up soon. If you fast forwarded to this time, no, let's forget not this time next year, to the end of this year, and you looked back on your Olympic year, what would it look like? Remember that philosophy I shared with you. To have a better year, you're probably going to need to do things that you've not done so far. Okay? Make a change, make some differences, different choices, different actions. How do you have a great year? Well, this is how I plan on having a great year. I first set what that Olympic year is going to look like. Okay? My business has turned over 15 million so far in 10 years, 10 and a half years. By the end of this year, it'll be doing £1 million a month. And there will be about 10 to 15 people that I've helped, coached and supported that will be earning six-figure royalty incomes. That's my mission this year. Okay? It's great to have a positive influence on people's lives. It really, really is. But what I do is I've got that goal. So what I then do is I then break that down into quarterly goals. What would I need to achieve by such a date? Okay? I know this is probably basic stuff, but without a plan, you're never going to get anywhere. When you got up this morning to come here, did you just meander here, or did you have a plan to get from A to B? You have a plan.
I had a driver.
Had a driver. Actually, I followed Chris, so when he was going on about roadworks, I hadn't seen them because I was just in a little bit of a trance.
Oh, it was foggy.
Yeah, if you don't know where you're going, you're never going to get there. Quite simple. Quite simple. Okay. So it's about breaking what you don't track, you can't grow. There's a little philosophy for you. What you don't track, you can't grow. Okay. So what I do is I break that into quarters. So to achieve £1 million, I need to be doing 750,000 by September. Yeah? Make sense? So you break it down into achievable, bite-sized pieces. So how do you have a great quarter? You have a great month. How do you have a great month? You have a great week. How do you have a great week? You have a great day. The only moment that truly matters is when? Now. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, right now in the moment. The choices and actions we make in the moment, right now, today. All you need to focus on. Now, you could think like turning over £1 million is massive. Somebody said about the fear of maybe what they've got to achieve this year. But actually, when you break it down, if you plan it, and the great thing is, and I'm saying it again in a moment, but I'll say it now, in every walk of life, in every field, anything that you want to achieve, almost anything, has already been achieved by somebody else. Make sense? Mm-hmm. Like the Roger Bannister in the 4-minute mile. Things have been achieved. What I'm getting at is there's reference points of success. There's reference points that you can adopt of your own and put into your life to achieve the same outcome. Make sense? That's simple stuff, really. So to have a great year, you break it down into bite-sized pieces. Then all you need to do is focus on the now. Focus on today. That's the beauty of it. Have a great day every day. When we get up in the morning, we have that choice to have a great day. But you know, again, when you know where you're going, when you've got something to look forward to. You see, we mentioned goal setting earlier. Somebody said goal setting. My take on goal setting is about getting passionate about your life. Most people spend more time planning a family holiday because they need something to look forward to. Would you agree we all need something to look forward to? Mm-hmm. Most people, something to look forward to is that annual holiday. I want to challenge you to get and look forward to your life and get passionate about it, because you can create anything you want to. And then it's focusing on having a great year in action, because it's action that will deliver the results. Without action, nothing is ever achieved. So all you need to do is have a little bit of blind faith that if someone else has done them actions and collectively over time they've had outcome X, you just need to focus on the actions. But do you want to know one of the biggest things between a top performer and a non-performer? You want to know the difference? Because top performers aren't born. Olympic athletes aren't born. There's no skill in life that we cannot acquire. Do you know what the difference is? Chronic inconsistency. Chronic inconsistency. Top performers consistently have a great day every day in the actions required to achieve the outcome. Whether they get instant results or hidden results, each day they know what their focus is. And they focus one day at a time and enjoying the moment and living to the max and doing what they love each and every day. And that's how a top performer is created. Gary Player, famous golfer, interviewed years ago. People used to say to him how lucky he is because he was winning so many tournaments. His response on national TV was, "Isn't it funny? The more I practice, the luckier I get." Okay? There's no new fundamentals. Do you know what? I'm confident you know all of this. Okay? Or you at least know most of it. It's about knowing what's here that pulls you and compels you, just like the mother in that mountain story, to do the things that other people aren't willing to do or believe they can't do, when actually you can achieve anything through having another go. Okay? Never, never give up on your dreams. My biggest philosophy that's changed my life for the better, and it's one simple philosophy. I never finish a day before tomorrow's on paper. Every day, without fail, I write a to-do list for the following day of the things I have to do, whether that's personal, family. I even write things like going to the gym. You wouldn't believe it, I know. Right? But I put things like going to the gym. Obvious things that I do as a matter of habit. But other things that aren't actually habits yet. But it's the satisfaction of ticking them habits off that's quite satisfying and compels you to get more done in a day. All I do is a simple to-do list philosophy. I mentioned about, and the thing is, when you've broken your year down, you know what you've got to do every day. If you can't get something done, you transfer it onto the list. Quick tip about a to-do list philosophy for you. Write your list. I write mine every night. Okay? The times I haven't done that, by the way, I've had a nightmare of a day the following day. Not necessarily a nightmare, but I've not got a lot done. Every night I write a to-do list. The following day, when I get up, I can't have a shower. I have to have a shower every morning without fail. I look at my to-do list, and then I get in the shower, I dance a little bit, I sing a little bit, and I think about what's on my to-do list, and I prioritise what needs to get done first. Often, the things I don't really want to do. When I get out of the shower, I then, in the top right-hand corner of my to-do list, and it's nothing fancy, it's just an A4 bit of plain paper, I write the 5 priorities that I should, must, need to get done that are necessary for me to achieve the things I want to achieve. And then I prioritise. If the, excuse the terminology, if the shit hits the fan, I make sure I get them 5 things done. But then the same wind blows on us all. It's not what happens to us, it's how we respond. Event response gives us an outcome. Okay? So one simple philosophy. This is my daughter near our villa in Spain on a beautiful beach. I don't know, can you see her very well? She is the most beautiful little girl in the world. She has got such a great attitude. She's only 4. Honestly, she's adopting a really, really good attitude because of the power of association. She came up to me about 3-4 weeks ago and she said to me, "Daddy, this is my to-do list. I'm really busy today." I'm like, "That's my girl." Not even 4. Do you know, and Caroline noticed this actually. She's written the word love. Bless her. But you see how she started with all the letters? And then she's gone, But you see what I mean about conditioning? I've never actually taught her to write a to-do list. But she knows her daddy has a to-do list every day. It's amazing. It is by example. People pay more attention to your example rather than your intentions. There you go. People pay more attention to your example rather than your intentions. Okay, you're going to create momentum. It was talked about earlier, but you need to have faith in the compound. I mentioned the philosophy of the penny doubled every day. You know, you've probably read this or heard of this, but I'm a firm believer of understanding the compound effect. Sometimes you don't get instant results. It's about doing the same things, sometimes, you know, consistently and persistently over time, and then all of a sudden the result will creep up and jump out in front of you and go, ta-da! It's the nature of the beast of life. You don't always get a result straight away. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? So you need to have the faith. and the knowledge that you're doing the right things right. You just need to do them persistently and consistently over a period of time, and your success, my friends, is inevitable. Whatever success is for you. Firm believer of that. Already mentioned that today. Results. We live in a results-driven society. This is great. At the same time, I think sometimes we expect our life to be the same. It's like I mentioned the movie earlier. What was it called? Pretty Woman. We get a Lifetime movie in 2 hours. And we expect our lives to be the same. We expect instant results because that's the society we're in. A microwave society. In it goes, on it goes, ping, it's done. You switch on a light. Does anybody know how electric works?
Sort of.
I haven't got a bloody clue. But I know if I put the switch on, it works. Yeah? That's the society we live in. But you have to understand, to get the results often that you want, it's that compound effect. And it's taking maybe a philosophy to results as well. I think Alexandra was talking about the word no. I've got a simple philosophy. I believe that you never, ever fail in life. You may not get the result you wanted, but you always, always get a result. And what it gives you is a benchmark to turn that into a result. What you don't track, you can't grow. Okay? Every failure is a lesson, so to speak. Every result, sorry, is a lesson. Character building. You know, some people have it tougher than others. Good. That's the world saying to you, I'm going to make you stronger. I'm going to build your character so that you're worthy of the success you crave. It's just like that philosophy. Do you know, if you took every penny, dime, dollar across the world and shared it equally to every inhabitant of the world today, before long, it would end up back in the same pockets. Because people have made themselves worth that kind of money. Okay? Because of their philosophies. Sometimes it's understanding, I'm not going to go into that, but sometimes it's understanding to get to success you need to pass through the different results, that failure that you could look upon. Does that make sense? Sometimes people get to failure and they think, going the wrong way, and they turn around and go the other way, when actually to get to success you need to go through that. You need to go through the rejections, the no's, the challenges, the obstacles. It makes your character stronger, it makes you stronger, so you deserve success. These are just my beliefs. Okay? Am I right? How long have I got, Joseph? 10 minutes? 5 minutes? Okay, I'll keep talking. Awesome. Right, I'm going to talk really fast now, so you're going to have to keep up with me because I've got to speak really, really, really quickly. You may have seen this sort of thing before. I've got a simple belief. Everything you've ever achieved in life, everything, you stepped out of your comfort zone to achieve. Everything you've ever acquired, whether it's a relationship, whether it's asking somebody out on a date, whether it's cooking something new, doing something new, everything you've achieved, everything you've acquired, you've had to step out of your comfort zone. Here's a little philosophy for you I learnt 11 years ago from a good friend. People are like elastic bands. To be successful, one must be stretched. I'm a firm believer if you don't live on the edge, you haven't got any edge. Okay? You've got your comfort zone, and to be successful, you've just got to step out a little bit. But then it's just about doing things that you're not used to doing, learning something new, taking new actions. And as you take new actions, your comfort zone expands. You grow as a person, so you keep stepping. But it's very easy to fall back into your comfort zone and stop growing as a person. People often hit a glass ceiling. Alexander was talking about something earlier. I can't remember to associate it, but it was relevant. It got me thinking about glass ceiling. I believe we always hit a glass ceiling in life. Always. We get to a point where we won't grow anymore. Unless we choose to develop ourselves and become more so we can break through our glass ceiling. It's things like these events, through personal development, through choosing what you're associated with, through choosing to inspire yourself by reading the books, listening to the audio programs, getting the coaching, taking the actions, do the thing and have the power where you can break through your glass ceiling, and I believe you can achieve anything. You know, do you know what my little girl said to me the other day? I want to go to the moon, Daddy. And I confidently said to her, we will one day. Because I know, one day we'll be able to go to the moon. If Richard Branson wants to go to the moon, we're going to the bloody moon, aren't we? Let's be honest. What a great guy. Do you know what? That guy would sweep streets to be successful. It's the man's attitude. I think he's awesome. Okay. So, again, motivation, it's the why, it's the salt in your oats. You know, I coach and support a lot of people. And have you ever heard you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it? Really? How about putting salt in their oats so they're thirsty? What's the salt to your oats? What's going to make you drink? What's going to make you take the actions? The salt is your reason why. It's your passion, it's your purpose, it's your goals, it's what matters to you. I spend time building relationships with people, getting to know people, creating some great friends that I know them really well. So I know what matters to them. So to help them perform at a high standard, I remind them of what their salt is in their oats. So they're empowered to take them actions. It's what I'm good at. Okay. Confidence through competence. Again, that's like anything, isn't it? The more you do something, practice, you get better, you get results, you start to get confident, and therefore comes competence. When you're competent at something, you know, you can probably excel and really enjoy what you do. But at some point, there's that learning stage where you've just got to have blind faith and just put your head down, tail up, and do what's required. Anyone heard of Jim Rohn? Yeah. Famous business philosopher worldwide, the late great Jim Rohn. Anyone heard of Anthony Robbins? Yes. Okay. Jim Rohn was Anthony Robbins' mentor. Okay. If you ever get the chance to read any of or listen to any of Jim Rohn's stuff, soak it up. It's some of the best stuff I've ever. Him and Anthony Robbins are probably my two greatest mentors. Other people have really made a positive difference on my life, but I've soaked up a lot of their information. Jim Rohn, R-O-H-N. He's got an audio set called Take Charge of Your Life. All I'm going to say is wow. Wow. He was probably the mentor to all of the major personal development philosophers in the world today, the likes of Jack Canfield, Bob Proctor. He was probably the original mentor. Okay? He said, never join an easy crowd. Go where expectations and the expectation to perform is high. Just like here today, we mentioned, didn't we, about being with collective, like-minded individuals. It's powerful. Have a mastermind group. Choose to associate the people that are going to take you where you want to be. Like when I started my direct selling business, my association changed. I started spending time with millionaires, people that were living the dream. Isn't it funny now that I live the dreams I had and work for the dreams I have? Through the power of association, my belief was rekindled. So find the mentors.